Today we're going to tear apart a classic boom and bust story, and I mean really dig in. Why? So you can get the playbook for sustainable growth and avoid the same fate.
Okay, picture this. You hit $10 million in sales in your very first year. I mean, that's the dream, right? The absolute pinnacle for any e-commerce brand. Now, hold that thought. Just a couple of years later, you're not just off your high, you're staring at a loss of over $1 million. Ouch.
So how does that even happen? How does the dream scenario totally flip into a nightmare? And get this isn't some made-up story. It's real. And the answer holds some mission-critical lessons for your business. All right, let's get into it.
So we're about to look at the anatomy of this crash. It's the story of a founder who took a simple Facebook post about weighted blankets and, almost overnight, spun it into a multi-million-dollar empire.
And here's the timeline. And what's just crazy is the speed. Look at that. 2017, the idea sparks. Year 1, bam, 10 million in sales. Year 2, $2.5 million in profit. And then by 2020, it all goes south. A loss of over $1 million. What felt like this incredible overnight success just completely unraveled, almost as fast as it started.
So you gotta understand, this crash wasn't just bad luck. It wasn't a fluke. It was caused by 3 very specific and honestly avoidable mistakes that I see founders make time and time again. Let's diagnose this thing.
Okay, scaling sin number 1, the hype trap. This is where that initial high, that fear of losing your early momentum, it pushes you. It pushes you into making these scattered, unfocused, and kind of greedy decisions. You basically start chasing every shiny object you see.
And here are the symptoms. See if any of this rings a bell. The founder launched over 10 separate brands. Focus? Gone. All the money from all the brands got dumped into one single confusing bank account. Total financial chaos. They hired like crazy, up to 100 people, but with zero structure. And maybe worst of all, the core team wasn't even incentivized on the main brand success. Your attention gets split, your numbers become a black hole, and the original business, the golden goose, gets left behind.
And this quote from David Sachs just nails it. The benefits of synergies are hypothetical, but the benefits of focus are immediate. Chasing all that diversification way too early, it's a classic trap. Focus, especially in the beginning, is your absolute superpower.
All right, on to scaling sin number 2, having no defensible product strategy. This is when you just start throwing new products at the wall to see what sticks without any real strategic vision behind it.
And the symptoms here are just painful. They launched all these minor product variations that just confused the heck out of customers. The new products didn't have a unique selling proposition, a reason to exist. And then, this is the real kicker. They created a cheaper, competing brand called the Udi that literally started eating their own sales. They started competing with themselves. It's a classic way to make it super easy for copycats to come in and steal your lunch.
So what's the alternative to just random launches? It's what we call a product flywheel. The idea is simple. Every new product you launch should build on the last one. It should make your core brand stronger and harder to copy. Think about it. For the weighted blanket company, instead of launching a cheaper blanket to compete with themselves, a flywheel move would be adding things like specialized cooling pillowcases or awesome blackout sleep masks. You see? Products that make the original blanket even better and lock customers into your world.
And now for the third and final sin. And listen up, because this is the one that can bankrupt you even when your sales reports look amazing. I'm talking about catastrophic inventory mismanagement.
Just look at the chaos it causes. All your cash gets tied up in stock that isn't moving. Meanwhile, your best sellers, the products people actually want, constantly sold out. So you're wasting your marketing dollars advertising the unpopular stuff, and you're forced to have these massive sales just to get rid of it. Here's the bottom line. If your best products are never in stock, you're not just losing a sale. You are literally burning cash and damaging your brand every single day.
Okay, so that's the diagnosis of what went wrong. Pretty scary, right? So how do you avoid this kind of disaster? Well, now we get to the good part, the prescription. This is your playbook for sustainable growth. All right, here it is. Your 6 rules for scaling the right way. Let's just run through them. 1, scale sustainably, not just faster. 2, get your financials crystal clear. 3, build that defensible product flywheel we talked about. 4, structure your team for actual success. 5, when problems pop up, act on them fast using the 80-20 rule. And finally, number 6, embrace focus and a little humility. Let's zoom in on a few of these because there's a direct antidote to the poison we just saw.
Lesson 1 is all about pacing.
Look, the goal isn't to be the fastest horse in the race, it's to be the one that actually finishes. Rapid, uncontrolled expansion is a trap. It leads to breakdowns. Sustainable, managed growth, that's what builds a company that can actually last.
And lesson 2, this one is non-negotiable. If you don't understand your numbers, you have to hire someone who does. Period. A fractional CFO can literally be a game changer. After seeing how one giant, messy bank account for 10 brands led to total chaos, you know you need a crystal clear view of your financial health. Don't wait until you're drowning to call for help.
Okay, lesson 5. This one is huge. It's all about where your results really come from. Remember the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle? 20% of your activities are driving 80% of your results. Think about our blanket company. They were burning ad money on the 80% of products nobody wanted, while the 20% that were home runs were always out of stock. As a leader, your job, your only job really, is to find that vital 20% and pour all your energy into it.
So, we've gone through the whole story. The insane $10 million high, the crushing $1 million loss, and the playbook to avoid it. And you know what? It all boils down to one single critical concept.
Focus. That's it. That's the whole game. Focus on your core product. Focus on your key numbers. Focus on your best people. And focus on your most effective actions. Anything else is just noise. Delusion is the absolute enemy of sustainable growth.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question, a challenge really. Take a hard look at your own business tomorrow. I want you to ask yourself, what is the 20% in my business that's going to get 100% of my focus from now on? Find that and you'll build a brand that lasts.